Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where people will try to tear you down, hold you back, and tell you that you can't do the things you dream of doing. They will try to mold you into someone you're not. They'll label you, criticize you, and do everything they can to keep you in a box. Why? Because they can't handle seeing you rise. They're comfortable in their misery, and your success, your growth, threatens their fragile sense of stability. But you know what? You don't owe them an explanation. And you certainly don't owe demons and people the time or energy to try to change who you are. It's time to stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand you, never accept you, and never truly support you. You see, there's a truth that many of us fail to grasp early in life. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will cheer for your success. And you know what? That's okay. It's not your job to make them understand. It's not your job to convince them that your dreams are worthy. Because the truth is, their approval, their validation means nothing if it comes at the cost of your peace, your purpose, and your potential. Stop explaining yourself to demons and people. These demons don't need to be literal. They can manifest as negativity, jealousy, insecurity, or just a general lack of understanding. People who will look at your ambition and try to belittle it. People who will look at your joy and try to find a way to ruin it. People who will look at your potential and try to convince you that it doesn't matter. These are the demons you need to stop explaining yourself to. These people aren't going to lift you up. They'll keep you down if you let them. And it's time to stop letting them. I want to talk to you today about why explaining yourself to these kinds of people is not just a waste of time, it's a hindrance to your growth. I want to talk to you about how when you stop trying to please everyone, when you stop trying to make everyone understand you, your life will change. You'll start to see the world through a different lens. You'll start attracting the people, opportunities, and experiences that align with who you truly are. And most importantly, you'll begin to see that everything you've been fighting for, everything you've been striving toward was always within you. Now, let me tell you a story. It's a story that's going to hit home for many of you. It's about a young woman named Sarah. She grew up in a small town where everyone knew everyone's business. Sarah was different. She always knew she was destined for something bigger. She had dreams of becoming an entrepreneur, of starting her own business, of traveling the world and making a difference. But in that small town, where everyone was stuck in their ways, no one understood her. They told her she should focus on getting a real job, that she should stop dreaming so big. They didn't see the fire in her eyes, the drive in her heart. They only saw her dreams as foolish and impractical. But Sarah couldn't stop. She couldn't let go of that deep knowing within her that she was meant for more. So she started to explain herself to people. She would tell them why her business idea was a good one, why she believed in it so much, why it was worth the risk. And every time, without fail, they'd look at her like she was crazy. Some even laughed. They didn't understand, and worse, they didn't want to. They were too scared to take a risk, too afraid of failure, too comfortable in their own small world. And each time Sarah explained herself, she found herself a little more drained, a little less confident, and a little further away from her dreams. The more she tried to make them understand, the further she drifted from her own vision. Then, one day, something shifted. She realized that her energy was better spent on building her dreams than explaining them to people who couldn't see them. She realized that if they didn't understand, that wasn't her problem, it was theirs. She stopped explaining herself. She stopped trying to get approval from people who would never get it. She stopped apologizing for her dreams. She started surrounding herself with people who believed in her, who saw the greatness in her even when she couldn't see it and when she couldn't see it in herself. And when she stopped explaining, when she stopped seeking approval, her world started to change. She launched her business. It wasn't easy, nothing worth having ever is, but the moment she decided to stop explaining, the moment she decided to just do it for herself, everything shifted. She found clients who believed in her vision. She attracted opportunities that aligned with her goals. And most importantly, she finally started believing in herself again. She wasn't chasing validation anymore. She wasn't begging for approval. She was living her life on her terms, unapologetically. That's the moment everything changed for Sarah, and that's the moment everything can change for you. You don't need to explain yourself to the demons and people. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your dreams, your desires, your actions, or your ambitions. The only person you need to answer to is yourself. And once you make that decision, once you stop letting the opinions of others control your narrative, you'll begin to see your life unfold in ways you never thought possible. Now, I know it's not always easy. We live in a world that's quick to judge, quick to criticize, and even quicker to tell you what you should be doing. People will question your every move. They'll challenge your decisions. They'll doubt your potential. And when you're trying to do something different, something outside the norm, that doubt can feel overwhelming. It can make you want to stop. It can make you question your worth and your dreams. But the truth is, the only reason they are questioning you is because they are too afraid to step into their own greatness. And the only way they know how to cope with their fear is by projecting it onto you. That's why you cannot take it personally. You cannot internalize their negativity. Their demons are not your demons. Their doubts are not your doubts. And their limitations are certainly not your limitations. Your path is yours to walk, and no one else can walk it for you. Stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand, because every time you do, you're giving away your power. You're letting their limitations define you. I know that it's hard. We all want to be understood. We all want to feel validated. But the truth is, validation from others doesn't matter if you don't validate yourself first. If you don't believe in your own vision, no one else will. If you don't trust your own abilities, no one else will. So stop explaining. Stop justifying. Stop begging for permission to be who you are. The world doesn't need your explanations. It needs your action. It needs your belief. It needs your confidence. And once you stop explaining yourself, once you start living for you, that's when everything will start to fall into place. So today I challenge you to stop explaining yourself. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop feeling guilty for chasing your dreams. Stop letting the demons in other people's minds keep you from living the life you're meant to live. Your path is yours and yours alone. And it doesn't need anyone's approval. The only approval you need is your own. And when you start giving yourself that approval, when you start believing in your own worth and your own potential, you will realize that you've been carrying everything you need all along. It's time to stop explaining yourself, and it's time to start living unapologetically. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Don't waste any more time trying to get approval from people who don't understand your journey. Your dreams are valid. Your vision is real, and you are capable of achieving everything you've set your heart on. So stop explaining yourself to demons and people and start showing them what you're made of. You are more than enough. Now go out and prove it to the world. The first critical point of the speech is understanding that your dreams, ambitions, and actions don't need to be explained to people who don't believe in you or won't understand your path. Seeking validation from others who are stuck in their own limitations only drains your energy and holds you back from your true potential. The key takeaway: focus on your vision and stop wasting time trying to make people who are not on your wavelength understand you. You only need to validate yourself. The second main point delves into how negativity, insecurity, and jealousy from others act as demons that try to hold you back. These people will question your dreams, doubt your abilities, and tear down your confidence. The message is clear: don't give these external voices power over your life. The more you explain yourself to them, the more you lose your own power. This is about recognizing that their doubts are not your doubts, and learning to ignore them is key to unlocking your true potential. The final key is the power of living unapologetically. When you stop explaining yourself to others, you reclaim your time, energy, and focus. This part emphasizes the importance of taking action toward your own dreams without seeking permission or approval from people who don't get it. Once you stop explaining yourself, you can fully commit to what matters most to you. You'll begin attracting the right people and opportunities that align with your journey, and that's when the magic happens. When you begin to chase your dreams, there's always that moment where you look around for validation. You seek it from family, friends, co-workers, or even complete strangers. It's natural. We all want to feel seen, understood, and accepted. It's human to want to be supported as you pursue something that means so much to you. But there's a harsh truth that many of us must confront at some point. Not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone will support your journey. That doesn't mean your dreams aren't worthy. That doesn't mean your path isn't the right one. It just means that the people you're seeking validation from are the wrong people. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you'll unlock the potential to achieve everything you've ever dreamed of. So why do we seek validation from the wrong people? It often starts with the people closest to us. We look to family for support, expecting them to cheer us on, to offer wisdom and encouragement. We seek approval from friends, thinking that their belief in us somehow confirms that we're on the right path. But what happens when those people don't give us the validation we seek? What happens when the very people we expect to understand and back us instead offer doubt, criticism, or indifference? It's easy to get discouraged when the people we love and trust don't see our vision the way we do. We start questioning ourselves, wondering if they're right. Maybe they're just looking out for us. Maybe they're giving us the advice they think is best. But here's the thing, their perspective is shaped by their own experiences, their own fears, and their own limitations. They may not have the same vision for their lives that you have for yours. And that's okay. But it's not okay to allow their doubts to dictate your actions or to limit your belief in yourself. When you seek validation from people who aren't on your journey, you allow their limitations to become yours. Think about it, the people you seek validation from often don't share your dreams. They might not even understand what you're trying to do. They might have their own version of success, one that looks completely different from yours. And that's where the disconnect happens. You look to them for validation, but they don't have the perspective to give it. They might not understand why you're willing to take risks, why you're working late into the night, or why you're willing to sacrifice comfort to chase something that's uncertain. And that's fine, but it doesn't mean you should stop pursuing your dreams because they don't get it. When you rely on the approval of others to move forward, you're not building your dreams. You're building someone else's idea of what your life should look like, and that's dangerous. It's a trap that keeps you stuck in the cycle of seeking external approval, always looking for someone else to tell you it's okay to take the next step. But your dreams were never meant to be approved by anyone but you. The moment you start seeking validation from others, you stop trusting yourself. You stop believing in your own abilities and instincts. You allow fear, doubt, and insecurity to control your decisions instead of faith, courage, and self-belief. Think about the people who are actively supporting you, those who are truly in your corner. They're the ones who believe in you even when things get tough. They're the ones who cheer you on, not because they fully understand your vision, but because they believe in your potential. These are the people who are aligned with your goals, even if they don't fully comprehend the details. They're not offering validation because they agree with everything you're doing. They're offering it because they believe you have what it takes to make it happen. That's the validation you need to be seeking, the kind that comes from within and from people who believe in you, not because they understand every step of your journey, but because they see your potential. Here's the truth, validation is not the answer to your problems. The external validation that you crave won't make your dreams any easier to achieve. It won't make you more capable, more qualified, or more ready to take on the challenges ahead. The only thing external validation does is temporarily boost your confidence, but it doesn't build the lasting belief you need to sustain your efforts. The real validation comes from within. It comes from the understanding that you are worthy of pursuing your dreams regardless of who else supports you or understands you. It's time to stop relying on the approval of people who aren't walking the same path as you. Instead, start relying on your own inner strength, your own sense of purpose, and your own belief in what you're capable of. When you believe in your own journey, when you have full trust in your ability to create the life you desire, nothing anyone says will shake your confidence. The noise of criticism, doubt, and skepticism will fade into the background because you'll know that your vision is valid, your purpose is real, and your journey is your own. You can't control how others view you. You can't make them understand your path, your dreams, or your sacrifices, but you can control how much you allow their opinions to affect you. When you stop seeking validation, you take control of your life. You stop allowing external forces to dictate your worth, and you start to live for yourself unapologetically and without hesitation. This doesn't mean that you should cut people out of your life entirely or stop seeking feedback. Constructive criticism from people who genuinely want to see you grow is valuable. But it's important to differentiate between the people who want to help you improve and the people who just want to keep you in your place out of fear or jealousy. If someone truly cares about your success, they'll offer advice and support in a way that empowers you, not tears you down. They'll challenge you to grow, but they won't undermine your dreams or try to make you feel small. The process of not seeking validation is empowering. It's liberating. You become the authority in your own life. You trust yourself and your decisions. You stop waiting for others to tell you what's right. You stop needing the approval of others to take action. And once you stop seeking validation from the wrong people, you'll find that you attract people who genuinely support you, people who understand that your vision is yours alone and that your worth isn't defined by their acceptance. Every time you let someone else's opinion take root in your mind, you give away a piece of your power. You let someone else's fears and insecurities affect your confidence. But when you trust yourself, when you know that your path is worthy, even if others don't get it, you start to reclaim your power. You stop giving away pieces of yourself to people who don't understand, and you start giving those pieces to your own growth, your own dreams, and your own success. You were never meant to live your life for anyone else's approval. Your dreams are yours to chase. Your path is yours to create. So stop seeking validation from people who don't understand. Stop waiting for them to give you permission to live the life you're meant to live. Trust yourself. Believe in your own journey. And keep moving forward no matter who is behind you, who doubts you, or who doesn't get it. Because the only approval you need is your own. And once you start giving it to yourself, the world will start to align with your vision in ways you never imagined. You are worthy of your dreams. You are capable of achieving them. And it's time to stop explaining yourself to the wrong people. It's time to start living for you. Everywhere you go, you encounter energy, positive energy, negative energy, neutral energy. Energy is the force that drives people, shapes conversations, and fuels actions. But what happens when you encounter negative energy? What happens when the energy that others bring into your life becomes a weight, holding you back, draining you, and making it harder for you to move forward? It's a truth many of us face negative energy, often in the form of people who act as demons in our lives, can hinder our progress and stop us from living up to our full potential. The question is, how do you deal with that? How do you protect yourself from the demons in people and keep moving forward on your own journey? The first thing you need to understand is that these demons aren't always as obvious as you think. They aren't necessarily people with horns or malicious intent. Sometimes the demons are disguised as well-meaning friends or family members who believe they're looking out for your best interests but are really projecting their own fears, doubts, and insecurities onto you. Sometimes the demons come in the form of people who criticize your dreams, try to make you feel less than what you are, or constantly bring negative energy into your life. They have no idea that the way they talk, the way they act, the things they say are like a slow poison that keeps you from reaching your potential. These demons don't just affect how you feel in the moment, they have the power to shape your reality if you let them. Every time you allow their negative energy into your world, you're giving them permission to control your thoughts, your actions, and your direction. And you know what happens when you start giving away that control? You stop living for yourself. You stop trusting yourself. You begin to doubt your own worth and your ability to achieve the things that are truly important to you. Negative energy from others, especially when it's incessant, begins to make you second-guess yourself, and that's where the real damage happens. What many people fail to realize is that negativity is contagious. It spreads like a virus, infiltrating your mind, your spirit, and your confidence. At first, you might brush it off. You might tell yourself, that's just how they are, or they're only concerned about me. But over time, the more you absorb that negative energy, the more it starts to take root in your mind. You begin to internalize their doubts, their fears, their criticisms, and their lack of belief in you. Your demons become your demons. You need to understand that negative energy doesn't just appear out of nowhere. People who bring negativity into your life are often doing so because they're projecting their own internal struggles. They may be dealing with unresolved issues, unhealed wounds, or limiting beliefs that they haven't addressed. The pain they feel is so overwhelming that it spills out and affects the people around them. And unfortunately, if you're not careful, you become the target of that energy. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that these negative influences come from malicious intent. Often it's not about wanting to harm you, it's about their own discomfort with seeing you do well, be happy, or go after something they don't have the courage to pursue. It's a subconscious reaction. They're not necessarily aware that they're projecting their demons onto you. They just know that your progress highlights their own stagnation, and that makes them uncomfortable. So instead of celebrating your achievements or supporting your journey, they try to pull you back into the darkness they live in. They want to keep you where they are because it makes them feel more secure. This is where the challenge lies. Not only do you need to recognize this negative energy for what it is, but you also need to build the mental strength to shield yourself from it. This isn't about cutting people out of your life entirely, but it is about learning how to manage the energy you allow in. It's about setting boundaries with the people who bring negative energy into your space. It's about knowing that you don't have to absorb every ounce of negativity that comes your way. You can acknowledge it, but you don't have to internalize it. What's critical to understand is that negative energy can come in many forms. It doesn't always look like outright criticism or judgment. Sometimes it's subtle, a passive-aggressive comment here, a sarcastic remark there. It's the look of doubt when you talk about your goals, or the way someone laughs at your dream as if it's foolish. It's the judgmental attitude that makes you feel like you're not enough, or like your ambitions are too big for your life. These little things chip away at your self-confidence, and over time, if you're not careful, they can make you doubt everything you believe in. So what can you do when you find yourself surrounded by this type of energy? The first step is to recognize it for what it is. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't make excuses for it. Negative energy is toxic no matter how well it's disguised. If someone's words or actions consistently make you feel bad about yourself, question your worth, or make you doubt your abilities, that's negative energy, and it's holding you back. Recognizing it is the first step toward reclaiming your power. The next step is to protect your energy. This doesn't mean you shut yourself off from the world or cut yourself off from people you care about. It means you learn to set boundaries and not allow other people's negativity to invade your space. You need to become aware of how their words and actions affect you and take control over what you allow to influence your thoughts. When someone brings negative energy into your life, don't engage with it. Don't absorb it. Let it bounce off of you. You have the power to decide what gets into your mind and what doesn't. One of the most powerful things you can do is shift your focus. When you focus on your own growth, your own vision, and your own purpose, the negative energy around you becomes less significant. It becomes like background noise. The more you concentrate on what's important to you, the less power these external sources of negativity will have. And the more you cultivate positivity, gratitude, and optimism in your own life, the more your energy will rise above the negativity around you. Another crucial step is to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your dreams, and who support you wholeheartedly. You don't need everyone to understand your journey, but you do need people who respect your ambitions and encourage your growth. Positive energy is just as contagious as negative energy. The more you're around people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, and who genuinely want to see you succeed, the more you'll begin to rise above the negativity. You'll start to attract people who believe in you and who will protect your energy just as fiercely as you protect theirs. Finally, you need to remember that you are the sum of the energy you allow into your life. If you allow demons to take root in your mind, they will start to dictate how you see yourself and how you approach your goals. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and fear, those will be the things that dominate your mindset. But if you choose to protect your energy, focus on what matters, and surround yourself with people who support you, then your mindset will shift. You will become more resilient, more confident, and more aligned with the person you're meant to be. The demons in people, the negativity, the doubt, the fear are not your demons. They don't belong to you. But they will only stop controlling your life when you stop letting them. You can't change the way other people behave or think, but you can control how much of their energy you let into your world. And once you realize that, once you take full control over what you allow to influence your thoughts and emotions, you'll find yourself rising above the negativity, more determined than ever to achieve your dreams. So protect your energy. Recognize the demons in people for what they are. Don't allow them to drain you. Set boundaries. Don't engage with negativity. Focus on your purpose. And surround yourself with people who bring light into your life. Because you are meant for greatness. And no demon, no negative energy, no outside force can hold you back once you decide that you won't let them. You are stronger than that. The world is filled with voices, some loud, some soft, some supportive, and some discouraging. From the moment we start to walk, talk, and dream, we begin to encounter others who tell us what's possible, what's not possible, and how we should live our lives. As we grow older, these voices grow louder, and society, family, friends, and even strangers all have an opinion on who we should be and how we should act. But here's the question: what happens when you choose to ignore those voices and decide unapologetically that you will live for your own dream? What happens when you no longer ask for permission to be who you are and go after what you truly want? What happens when you step into your power full force and begin to carve your own path? The first thing you realize is that when you begin to live for your own dream, not everyone will understand. Some people will criticize you, some will question your choices, and others will try to convince you that you're on the wrong path. But the truth is, their opinions are irrelevant. Your dream is yours and yours alone, and living for it means that you stop seeking approval from others and start trusting yourself completely. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand your journey and embrace the fact that your dream doesn't need to be validated by anyone but you. For so long, we've been conditioned to seek external validation. We've been taught to ask for permission, to wait for approval, to ensure that everyone around us is comfortable with the choices we make. But living for your own dream means breaking free from that mindset. It means embracing the discomfort of stepping outside the box, doing things differently, and charting your own course. It means understanding that the pursuit of your dream is not about pleasing others, but about fulfilling something deep inside of you, something that only you can understand. When you unapologetically live for your own dream, you free yourself from the chains of other people's expectations. You stop trying to fit yourself into a mold that doesn't suit you. You stop compromising your vision to make others feel comfortable. Instead, you embrace the discomfort that comes with being true to yourself. It's not easy. It's not always pretty, but it's worth it because living for your own dream is the ultimate act of self-love, self-trust, and self-empowerment. The people who truly care about you will understand this. They may not always agree with every decision you make, but they will respect your courage to follow your own path. They will recognize that you are living in alignment with your purpose and that your journey is something uniquely yours. And for the people who don't understand, well, that's okay too. Not everyone is meant to walk the same path, and not everyone will understand the depth of your vision. But that doesn't mean you should stop pursuing it. Living for your own dream means letting go of the need for everyone to approve of your choices. It means no longer seeking validation from people who don't share your vision. Living for your own dream also means being willing to face the fear and doubt that come with it. The road to pursuing your dreams is rarely smooth, and there will be moments where you question yourself, where you wonder if you're making the right choices, where you doubt your abilities. But the difference between those who succeed and those who give up is simple. The successful ones keep going, even when the doubts creep in. They trust themselves enough to know that the fear they feel is just a part of the process, not an indication to stop. They understand that living for their own dream means embracing the uncertainty and challenges that come along with it. It's not about avoiding fear or doubt, it's about moving forward in spite of it. Another key aspect of living for your own dream is being willing to make sacrifices. Every dream comes with its own set of sacrifices, and if you truly want to live unapologetically for your dream, you have to be willing to make them. This might mean sacrificing your time, your comfort, your money, or even relationships that no longer serve you. But each sacrifice you make is an investment in your future. It's a commitment to your vision, and it's a way of telling the universe that you're serious about your goals. Sacrifice doesn't mean giving up things that are important to you. It means choosing what's most important to you right now and making decisions that align with that. It means prioritizing your dream, even when it's difficult, even when it feels like no one else understands. It's about choosing your dream every single day, no matter what distractions or obstacles arise. The process of living for your own dream is also about owning your decisions. When you live unapologetically, you take full responsibility for every choice you make, both the successes and the failures. You stop blaming others, stop making excuses, and stop waiting for the perfect moment. You understand that your dream is in your hands and it's up to you to shape it. There is no one else to blame if things don't go as planned because you are the creator of your reality. This kind of ownership requires immense self-awareness and maturity. It means being able to stand up and say, I made this decision and I'm proud of it. Even if things don't work out the way you hoped, you learn from the experience and keep moving forward. Living for your own dream also means embracing the idea that there will be setbacks along the way. The road will not always be easy. There will be challenges, obstacles, and times when you want to quit. But these are not signs that you should give up. They are signs that you're on the right path. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity for growth. Every failure is a lesson. When you live for your own dream, you start to see challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. You develop the resilience to keep going even when the going gets tough because you know that your dream is worth every bit of struggle. One of the most freeing aspects of living for your own dream is realizing that it's okay to not have it all figured out. You don't need to know every step of the journey. You don't need to have a perfect plan. All you need is the courage to take the first step and the willingness to learn as you go. Unapologetically living for your own dream means letting go of perfection and embracing progress. It's about moving forward, even when you don't have all the answers. It's about trusting that you'll figure it out as you go and that every experience is a valuable part of your growth. It's also about understanding that your dream is not anyone else's responsibility. It's not your family's responsibility, your partner's responsibility, or your friend's responsibility. It's yours and only yours. And when you live for your own dream, you accept that the path won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. You stop relying on others to carry you, and you take full ownership of your own journey. In a world full of distractions, noise, and pressures to conform, living unapologetically for your own dream is the ultimate act of freedom. It's about taking control of your life, your choices, and your destiny. It's about saying, this is my dream, and I'm going after it no matter what. And the moment you embrace this mindset, everything changes. You stop apologizing for who you are and what you want. You stop asking for permission. You stop worrying about what others think. You just live for your dream unapologetically, without hesitation or regret. The truth is, your dream is worth fighting for. It's worth the sacrifices, the struggles, and the setbacks. It's worth everything you have to give. So stop waiting for permission to go after it. Stop seeking validation from people who don't understand. Live for your dream with everything you've got. You were born to make it happen, and it's time to stop apologizing for wanting more. You don't need anyone's approval to chase your dreams. The only approval you need is your own. And when you embrace that, there's nothing that can stand in your way.